I'm the Caddyshack Kid. I'm here in my man cave. The Caddyshack is the other side of this wall here. As always here in the man cave, it is 5 o'clock. As you can see, that second hand goes backwards, and that really screws up the minute and the hour hand. They don't know what to do, so they're stuck at 5. But that's good, because you always want it to be 5 o'clock in your man cave. Over here we have Billy, the talking fish. Billy's going to have something to say at the end of today's video, as always. And so why are we here? We're here because I'm going to present this week's Ace McShankski golf cartoon panel featuring Ace, the luckiest duffer on earth. Today's cartoon panel is very short. It's a very quick answer to the question, why was Ace's golf lesson canceled? It's only about a 10 or 15 seconds to take for you to read it and totally comprehend it. However, before I show you the panel, there's a little short story about what inspired me to write this cartoon panel. I live in a residential care facility for the elderly. We have hundreds of residents here. We've got about 500 rooms. And we have this professional trainer who presents exercise classes, balance classes, line dancing classes, all of these classes to keep these old folks moving. Once you quit moving, you're done. So you got to keep moving. So every day they have classes here. Well, we have these little speaker boxes in all the rooms where they make announcements. And one day the announcement was, all of the exercise and balance classes are going to be canceled today. Well, I had to kind of dig into that a little and figure out, well, what happened there? And what I learned was that our trainer actually pulled a muscle during the previous day's exercise class. And I thought it was rather ironic that this injury would be as a result of something that they did during their classes. So I decided, well, what kind of parallel can I draw between this problem with the exercise classes and my golf cartoons? And I needed to write a golf cartoon where I could parallel that same type of irony. And so the $64,000 question, and by the way, I'm showing my age there, that's the name of a quiz show from the 50s. So the $64,000 question is what could happen to a golf instructor that would cause him to have to cancel his lessons, but what it would be related to golf. Well, in this case, there was an injury. It's not going to be what you thought it was. So anyway, here we go. I'm going to show this video, or this cartoon panel, but hang around afterwards because there's a little comment I have to make. It might take a little explaining on exactly what this injury is that he suffered. So here we go, today's cartoon panel. There you have it. The teaching pro has suffered a case of the shanks. So if you're not real familiar with a case of the shanks, as you probably maybe have heard of shanking the ball, but there is such a thing as a case of the shanks. And there was a movie called Tin Cup. It was a golf movie with Kevin Costner and Cheech Marin and Rene Rousseau and Don Johnson. Well, in that movie, they spotlighted what was called a case of the shanks. There was a scene on a driving range where Kevin Costner was shanking one ball right after the other. And that's what a case of the shanks is. It's just not an occasional shank. It's when you just can't stop shanking the ball. I have a video that I've already posted. It's video number 3. This is video number 4 today. In video number 3, you might want to check that one out because it goes into a whole lot of detail on explaining what a case of the shanks is and how a case of the shanks can be cured. And Ace McShankski does have a cure for a case of the shanks, and it's presented in cartoon panel number 3, along with the whole explanation about what went on in the movie Tin Cup. Ace McShankski is getting ready to tee one up. Okay, so here we go. Ace is going to tee one up. You got any last minute advice for Ace, Billy?
Use the yellow ball, Ace.
Use a yellow ball. I think the fish is onto something there. By the way, the fish is declared officially as Ace's caddy with the starter before each round. That way there will be no rule violation, you know, with all this chatter going on between the fish and Ace. So anyway, Ace is going to tee one up right now. Quiet on the tee. Oh crap, Ace shanked it out onto the driving range. Now we see what Billy was up to. The yellow ball. If Ace had used a white ball, he would have never found that little white ball out there with all them other balls around it. So that fish is pretty smart. And Ace is, they call him the luckiest duffer on earth because he's got friends like the fish that tell him when to use a yellow ball. Okay, so that's it for today. Thanks for teeing one up with Ace McShankski, the luckiest duffer on earth. I'm the Caddyshack Kid saying, keep it in the short stuff, if you know what I mean. We're talking about golf here.